Man, morning. It's early for me. I think some of you assholes just went to sleep. You see, when I see, ain't was this person who made a live about people who's talking to KK suddenly. Um, I don't know how it happened or why. I'm not asking questions when Doc takes a decision. It's his channel. He does with what he wants. It's his prerogative. Um, so I never heard any of mine. So, you know, I'm not saying, I don't know about, if you're not convicted, and that's something factual, learn me. And I've seen United States, and I actually had a friend who was like 16 years of age. He got he got convicted because this girl that was 14 of age. He said that he tried to rape him. But the thing is, this guy, this man, he was 16. It's called a man here in Denmark. See, we live in different parts of the world. Here, the sexual age for having sex with anybody is 15. Do I have sex with a 15-year-old? No. Do I ever had? No. Yeah, when I was like 13, something like that. She was legal, I was not. So it's the other way around here in Denmark, very, very often. That the women, the girls, they can't wait. So they like, because they're 15, and the men, the boys, let me say that, they're not at all aged like them. But they want to get into the business. But the thing is, when you come from a country where it's normal, that 15, it happens that a bad 36-year old is getting married to a 15-year-old. It happens. It happened with Elvis. It happened with Charlie Lewis. Oh, but that's honky tonk music. So we got to talk black people. Okay. Do you really want to go this route? You see, we can start with one of the biggest, Michael Jackson, all the allegations. We can start with who's literally been, you know, taken for it. I believe I can fly. Do I need to sing anymore? See, I have to see if my phone is working because this was bullshit. I hate when, yeah, thank you. Because this is bullshit. I don't want, like, I'd rather use my own shit, my own phone on this particular subject because when I hear people talking about being in a, what do you call it? President of People's Group, PTG, PPG folk. And Chris, I never had any beef with Chris like that, but apparently I have now. Because I would never go against Doc. Never. Never in my wildest dreams would I mess with Doc, because he's a friend of mine, a very friend. Even though I live like many, many, many moons away from him, if it came to like a boat, if I were going over the sea, over the pond. But I don't want to hear bullshit at that. Uh, you have all these famous people doing this shit. They're not. Some of them are convicted though, uh, but they didn't convict. What's his name? Why this fucking is happening? I don't know, man. But it is what it is. I must admit, I'd rather be see, okay, I live in a country where it happened, and people just still have him as a politician, even though he was 36. And listen here, it started with one politician was taking his hand on a grown ass woman who was 36 years of age. He was even 32, and he was a politician called Morton Messerschmidt. That's a very unfortunate name, his middle name, or what you want to call it. But Messerschmitt, that's an old German airplane. But it is what it is, from the Second World War. And he's in a very conservative party, and they were holding a conference, and he took his hand on a grown ass woman's thigh. What was that? That was the Me Too movement that got totally, yeah, ballistic, and she she started to tell all shit that he was like getting up there to his her like thing. He was not. They were proof. There were people who saw it, who said no, he did not do anything like that at all. He just took his hand on his her thigh and tried to make a move. It was a party, goddamn it. But the man who took a 15-year-old girl home from another party, a conservative party. You see, we have a lot of conservative parties, like you apparently do, also allegedly. Uh, we don't just have Republicans and Democrats. This is democracy. You can do whatever the fuck you want. But what I wanted to say is, like in America, this is not a socialistic state. I don't know where the fuck Doc got that. He, does he think Germany is a socialistic state? Then he's very weird, because it's not. There's nothing. Yeah, there was the Berlin Wall back then, but that's like age. That's like, if you go to Berlin now, it's a city. Believe me, it's a city. It's huge, humongous. There's no wall anymore. There's no there's no east and west. There is east. There's the Middle East and there's the east. But it's like you gotta go to China and shit like that before you meet like, and Russia. To be honest, Russia, they said that they wanted to try another system. But listen here, we are in talk about people who are taking girls. You see, you had Rick James, you had the biggest who pissed on them and all that shit. Um, I haven't seen any such a bad shit. They're making. Who was it who made? What is it? Cat Williams, or who was it who made fun of? What's his name? I just saw his movie, man, and I can't even remember. The guy, I believe I can fly. Who the fuck is he? Come on, somebody write it. I believe I can fly. Not alone. You're not alone. What the fuck is his name? I forgot it. And I don't care. To be honest, he's not that important to me. He's a good songwriter, but he was never that important to me. You got all these people. And I gotta say, even though the sexual age is 15, and I'm like, I could if I would, but I would never, never, ever go down on that level. Why? Because I could. Because there's literally girls sometimes standing, looking at me, and listening to my music on a boom blaster, saying, "That's my friend. Look, he's not even that old. He's not even that old." Yes, I am old. My wife was 51. I was 50. God damn. See, I like a woman that I can touch. What people got, what their prerogative is, just as long as it's legal, it's okay for me. It looks stupid when they're like 40 and 18. It looks stupid, but it's legal, ain't it? 21, 18. I don't know what the legal age is. If it's 18, 21, it's your states. It's like then you can smoke cigarettes there. Then you can go out after midnight. Then you cannot. It depends what state you're in. That's why sometimes I laugh when I hear you talk. You talk like it's a different country. It's not. It's not. You just have some adjustments. We literally have different countries that look very different, very different. There's not a Walmart in sight or anything. We are beginning to being like you because we have the European Union, and the sex trade is getting worse and worse. Do you know where they catch a lot of the women? Where you live. That's the truth. The reason why I know this is I have a friend who lives in Thailand, and he's telling me that uh, a lot of the Russian girls are speaking perfectly English. And he thinks that's very, when you live in Thailand, if you sit down to take a beer, there will come, if you live in Pattaya, there will come a prostitute to ask you if you want a drink. And if I am like me, I'm down to visit my friend Matt's. I would never go with a prostitute, never, because I'm not I'm not down there for that. But a lot of people are. It's a sex industry. So when they see a guy sitting alone in the bar, they're like, "Ah, that's fresh meat." No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not that I'm like holy, but I must admit, how long do you think it is since I had sex the last time? You see, I'm not a very sexual being. I don't. I literally am not, and it's a sad thing because it's something people want me to get involved with a woman again. But it hurts when a woman that said she would never do you homeless, she would never do this, and she would never use your money like that, and she would never do this, and she would never do that, and she did it all. How the fuck are you going uh, be able to love a woman again? Uh, so I'm not even talking about sex. I don't want sex, baby. I don't want it like now. But when I hear allegedly, I've heard. I don't know if it's true. I can't. I, but they say it's the truth that you've been a pimp, a certain guy that's calling people PPG and shit like that was a pimp. You see, pimps and the deaf people, like people who sell heroin without doing it themselves. What the fuck? They should get some. I should shoot the fuck on the motherfuckers. A pimp. That's the worst kind. See, I've been. Okay, here comes the true story. I was a junkie after I was a famous motherfucker. So everybody saw me as a junkie because I was famous. So people knew my fucking face. They still do to this day. But a lot of people, was shocked that I did go this route. I did take this path, and I'm proud. Go to the street voices, learn it in Danish. It's Gaden. It's GADENS and STEMMER. Look at that site. There you can see how many people that are looking at me every fucking day. I'm out grinding, out doing my biz. So shut the fuck up with me being a PPG. What the fuck? Because a certain a man is on a panel. Is he? Have you been in jail for that shit? Is it the truth? Do we know the both sides of the story? Yeah, but I can't sit here and listening to a pimp saying that shit. When I live in a country where some people are 30, some people are 20, it's normal here. But it's not the norm. It's the norm that people are the same age. But it happens that there's a 30 years old and a 20 years old. If we see a 25-year-old with a 15-year-old, we kick his ass, but that's it. Because it's the law. You can't go against the law. You can't go against the police. And you have states where 13, you have like people like Warren Jeff. And then you have, what's the old man? Chuck Berry. Oh, shit. He was a bad one. He, go, Johnny, go, go, go. Go, Johnny, go, go, go. You see, you got good hits, but they made bad shit. Talk about the big ones, like Warren Jeffs. He had 79 wives that were underage, for God's sake. Do something about a man who's been convicted. Do something with that motherfucker if you got connected. If you're connected like you say you are. Assholes. You see, why can't it be I was in jail? And that this literally is in written fucking scriptures from the newspapers. There it stands like what I did when I was in the gang. That's why I'm now work at a place where we talk about shit like that. Where I take a tour out to show them all the places where it's very dangerous to walk if you're not me. I can't take you on a tour because that would be like, you can go to this place I just told you and see. And if you can't get it translated, try, because the stories would knock the fuck out of you. There you will literally hear girls talk about being destructive. Men, me being tried to being molested when I was 8 years old. Do you? And listen here, people who says if you molest people, if you were being molested, You probably molestate yourself. People says that they're like weak. I think it was a son Campbell who said that. I don't know, but I never ever even thought about it. You see, when I go on docs, I know Doc is a solid person. I know wants, if a man is in trouble and call Doc, you know what Doc did? Doc, he didn't even know my friend. He wasn't Russian. Say, my friend in Russia got problems. Hit me behind the scenes, Matt. Instantly. Instantly. He didn't even know what the fuck it was about. But you know, but it wasn't about those, so Doc couldn't help. But he was there on the fucking minute. Who is that? A solid motherfucker. So if you can come with all your fuckface shit bashing people the way you want people, but just remember this, you are talking about a very solid motherfucker who Chris even reached out for him. He got what he wanted. Now he's calling it a robbery. Is that a robbery? No, this is called being an asshole. You know, I'm not saying I'm saying it's an asshole move. I don't know Chris enough to call him an asshole, but I think he's an asshole. He would think so too if I said the same to him. Well, I would think I was an asshole at least. Come on, because I'm honest. Sorry, it looks bad, but I am sick. I must admit that. So I got a jacket on now. And I guess all you motherfuckers went to sleep. It's demons hours for you. But I see there's a lot of people who are choosing not to come here anymore because of Chris. And that's okay. I don't care. I literally don't care. You see, this was never for getting me popping or nothing. I can do this in Danish and I'll get what I want. But I won't do it in Danish, but because I'm not a YouTuber. I'm just saying, when people are trying to say that I'm like on this type of time, I get mad. You know what I did in jail to people like that? But that was when they were caught. And that was being a pedophile. Do you know what a pedophile is? That's a man who's got very short eyes. He's looking for shorties like this. That's a pedophile. A predator is a man who's looking for like girls from the age of 14 to 17. But you see, 16, 17, that's legal in Denmark. So is it okay that it's legal? No, I don't think so. I think it should be 18. I've said that for the longest, since I was 16 myself. Because when I was young, it was like about getting these 20 years old, these 21 years old, these 22 years old. You see? Wasn't it for that for you? It must have been. And with the age, your thing for women change. That's normal behavior. This too far, But when when pimps and robbers and shit start to tell what people should do, then I have to say my piece and just say, yeah, okay, if you mean that. See, um, you already said a lot of shit about me, and I've heard, and I don't know if it's you who's been popping up saying shit about me. I guess not. But I got nothing against anybody. Believe me, I don't. I literally don't. Literally don't. So it is what it is. But to make a channel about other people and call them a group, you see, that disgusts me. But I miss some people. I must admit that. But don't see him yours, Chris. So I think I am where I'm supposed to be. I'm just sitting chilling because a lot of people are going to work here. It's like a walking path. I'll go on to my room. There's tracks behind me. I want to get through. What the fuck? You can't drive here. But just to, uh, but it's okay. I understand that people don't like a certain person. Besides, have you thought about your friend Dose? He's got some shit in his fucking that piece of the wall shit. And he was saying, he got serum, this guy, he got serum. Like it's shot. I got a lot of shit. She always remember to take your painkillers for my back. You see, broken back just don't get good. Like, whoa, now it's good when you don't get. See, I can't even breathe almost. That's because of my lungs. I got what you call COPD, and I got to stop smoking. My doctor gave me 5 years. So, you see, when you hear bullshit like this, that's when you're like, I don't know how to explain it, but that's when you like, I'm not, I've never, and I don't want to hear. Um, I'm not a G anymore. I'm an OG. I'm doing my prison bit. I'm 50. I'm over 50. Okay, motherfuckers. Shut the fuck up. What you did. What you did. You look like a junkie. Okay. Have you seen yourself in the mirror lately? You see, just as long as I can take this, one of these guitars out, or this Fender. Oh shit, this Fender Strat. Oh, what the fuck is that? Oh shit. What is it? Oh, no. Believe me, that's a lie. I gotta use this. You see, when I wanted to use my towel, but what do I mean? I just cleaned. I just washed it, so it's in the washing machine. Oh, it's gonna be nice and sticky, this shit. But I'm gonna wash it anyway today. I do that every motherfucking Friday. Friday morning it is. Friday morning it is. I'm just chilling. Because actually, I could go out and make a little spliff. No, I could not. I'm not doing this in the morning. What I mean is, I could go out tonight, making a little spliff, be out all night, not coming home, just having a good fun night out. I don't drink, so I always go home, sleep with a good buddy of mine when it's all go. Oh, if I meet a good female, um, you know, we have places for grown-ups. There's these, then there's literally a place called Australian Bar. I went in there once. I was in town. This sits to me, all the guys. They said, go down there. And I was like, what? Why? It looks like it's like you'll fall over the fucking school bags. They were like, go in there. It's like it's a funny place. We'll wait. Why will you wait? We'll wait. You can go in so you can see it first and shit. It's new, man. It's totally new. And I'm always, and then they said the first who gets in there of all of us is getting a free drink. And I was like, what? It's the truth. He just looked at us, and we were like 10 people almost. You could see, he said, and we're getting you're getting a drink. And I said, okay, I'm going in to get that drink. I went in there, and let me say, I didn't get a drink. He said, can you show me some ID? I said, ID? Look at me, motherfucker. I got beard and all kind of shit. What the fuck are you talking about? He said, that's what I mean. You over 25, ain't you? Ah, that's what we call a fucking joke amongst the minors. That's going down to a discotheque where they're 25, from 18 to 25. That's what we think is funny. Make a joke going down there and standing there, and they look at you. What the fuck is he doing here? What the fuck? And you're like, oh. There's the place called Australian, but only for the youngsters. So they can't come an old creep in there. So they go there. They do. But there is no old creeps. They'll get the what is it Hassan Campbell say? I think it's funny. They get the snot box rock. And believe me, that's the fucking truth. Because people they be so serious about this YouTube shit, man. What the fuck? Even gangbangers is on here. What the fuck? And then, where do you think the hood comes from, you motherfuckers? Europe, Africa, the Middle East. That's where the hoods come from. The biggest gangs come from fucking Romania and Hungary and shit like that, you motherfuckers. And that's not fucking Crips and Bloods. That's the mob. God damn it. Don't you know your fucking history? Don't they teach you anything in schools? Europe built your country, okay? With the Chinese, the railroad and shit later. But we start to build your country. So be proud of your European brothers. Don't talk down to them like you're the best thing that ever happened. That, it's like we're 550 million people. That's half a billion people in the European Union. Then out of the European Union, we are almost a billion people. But only in the European Union, we have 550 million people. That's getting the same, that's eating the same way, that's living the same way. But we got very different architecture and all that shit. And some countries are more. They're not in the union, to be honest with you. But there are more countries in the union that we're 550 million people. So stop it with your big country as fuck. You see, with double amount, double. If you double your country, that's Europe. The reason why I'm saying this is because when you call it a socialistic state, I gotta learn you that the European Union is very capitalistic minded shit. You can get funds from the Union, but it's a capitalistic thing. It is. It's trade. They only have this mark on, like, I think you have it made in America. We have this mark where I think you have the American flag, maybe, because we have the EU flag. So it's like, it's not to say that we're bigger or better, because we're not. It's just to say, remember, the hoods started. That's just to those. This is not too dark. It's not to anybody else. This is him making fun of Europe. Denmark was Vikings. We were one of the most feared motherfuckers. Don't you think out of that there'll come some motherfuckers Don't you think out of that, just because the jails are kind of soft, you know, I can tell you about a murder that happened in 83, 83. There was this battle between the Hells Angels and a club called MC Bullshit. And I'm not shitting you. They were called Bullshit MC, Bullshit Motorcycle Club. And the Hells Angels is a motorcycle club, as everybody knows. It's one of the biggest and best clubs I ever been around. I've seen, I've met, I've talked to some of them. They're very nice people. Very, um, they're very. You can't fool these people. They're very streetwise. They're very wise when it comes to economy. You can see that on their clubhouses. They know how to. You know their brand. They use that in games and shit now. So you see, if I had a brand like this, I would take a lot of money if people use that fucking brand to a game like the Grand Theft Auto, where you can like drive as a biker and then you can have the Hells Angels patch on. That must give them some kind of money because they're copyrighted to the, you know. Because I've been in Germany and you could buy 81 beers and all kinds of special shit. So I'm saying there was a war between these two because Bullshit MC were like, they were like Bullshit MC. They did a lot of stupid shit. And suddenly one day, this is not a gang. This is just a this is not just a club. This is the big and the best and the baddest motorcycle club in my eyes. A real 1% of club. That's for sure. That's not even to you can't even begin to discuss that. You see, that was not a drive by. That was not you see a shooting of a lot of people and shooting and no, that would be as he said it, as he put it, because he wrote a book about it. That's why I can talk about it. You see, and that's why I can talk about the name because it is. Uh, it's a guy. He's not in Hells Angels anymore. He's out bad. I gotta say that, and I gotta say that for sure because he is out bad. And so I'm just talking about a thing he did for the club, and he must have fucked pretty bad up. I don't know what happened. I don't want to hear about it because he's making a book, and I don't even want to hear it because these out bad people, doesn't matter where I hear about them, it's always something they didn't do. And look here, there's a whole club that's in an agreement that this motherfucker gotta go bad. So they know what they're doing. So but I wasn't there. I can't say if it's true or not, but I can say I believe the majority of the people. Because they're a democracy. They have a democracy like a motherfucker. You know, everybody have to vote. You know, to get one in. So it's a democracy. I think they got more rules than our fucking, our ministerial. Uh, but what I wanted to say about, calling us a kind of kinfolk, it's just like, what the fuck? But what he did, he waited until this motherfucker came out of his house, the president of the bullshit MC, the president. And he said he wanted to do it because he was the youngest back then. See, that was in the 80s. And he just waited and waited and waited. Suddenly, the door went up, went up, and it was in the morning, early in the morning, and he was going out to sell some hash out in Christiania. That's a hash city, built of hash almost. And
I know it had nothing to do with the money. They say that, and I believe them because they were bullshit, were like doing dumb shit all the time. They were going over shooting after them and shit like that. You know, you have territory. It's like if the Crips just went into the Bloods, or the Bloods just went into the Crips and having a barbecue. You know what I mean? They did that all the time. Went to their favorite bar places and shit like that. So they were like asking for trouble. But then the president, he went out of his fucking house with his dog and his wife. And he was thinking in the car, shit, he's got his wife with him. Damn it. So it would be embarrassing for him to hit the wife. What did he do? He didn't hit the wife. Of course he did not. He shot and killed the man. He emptied a machine gun in his fucking head and his fucking body. That's how you kill a man. It's not by shooting random by bang. No, it's like waiting, waiting. If you just want to bash him so he's just fucking finished, then you wait with a baseball bat. And you wait and you got a fucking thing down and you just crush his motherfucking everything he got. That's what we do with pedophiles here. So you even don't call a man, you can call him the P word, but that's the predatorial. But being a predator, you see, girls, when they're underage, if they're in love, they get butthurt. I don't know what happened, and I don't want to be a judge in this case because I never talked about this case. But what I want to say is don't put me in a group when you don't know shit about me. You don't know shit about me. I can read something for you if you give me 2 seconds. I don't know if I want to do that. They'll give me a bad reputation on YouTube. See, there's a old shooting, a shooting I was involved in. They're standing from 1990 to 1997. We were like, I was not even in the group, but they're like thinking I was, apparently, allegedly, because, you know, and I was there all the time, let me be honest. I was just not a member, but I was to all, I could come to when they were out eating and buy me some, yeah, whatever I needed, some hash, shit like that. Shit like that, you know what I mean? Yeah. I love my old people. And we were called Acap in 1990, you know. And when the cops came, they were like, they were like, the funniest shit was we went to a club, and you know, we had made a graffiti artist, a very famous graffiti artist in Denmark. We had him to make a mural of a cop. He was getting his intestines shut out, and he was looking down. And these three motherfucking ACAP guys were just laughing their asses off. I can't remember just how it was. I can't remember, but it was sick. It was like, and it was so graphic. So when the cops literally came in, it was three, and I'll write you the fucking piece from the paper. You see, I don't have it on the paper. I have it on the phone. It's in Google. You can Google this shit. Shit, man, them days. So, you know, just think about a guy who allegedly raped somebody. I must admit, when we found out a guy raped somebody, we kicked him the fuck out and he never got in again. And we didn't even know yeah, we didn't know because we saw her afterwards. So, but we didn't see it, but we didn't know it was true. And you know, no, I think because I don't want to say that. No, I can't say that. I can't say that. But he is a piece of shit, and he actually got his snot box rocked. I love to say that shit. I wish there were like thousands of people here, not because of the money. I don't give a fuck about money. Yeah, I do. But right now, it's I'm going into the baddest month ever. The the bank somehow, some fucking way, I don't know, on the card that I can go over is over, over the amount of money that I can use. And I shouldn't be able to do that. And I haven't done that. But it was some bills I needed to pay. But you see, I get money all kind of places from. Not from YouTube, of course. I know, but I get my salary. I get money from a guy who's never sending me the money, but sometimes he's sending me the money like I won't say his name. He's a musician. He's butthurt over a concert I did, but apparently everybody else were like totally down with the concert, but he was not. He was telling everybody how bad it was, like, cause I gotta be the bad guy. You see, we all can make mistakes, just not when it comes to underage girls. That's not a mistake. That's a thing you got, and that shit has to stop right now. So if you think and you're here and you want to hear this because you think that somebody's gonna get bashed or somebody, no, I'm not gonna bash anybody, but I don't want to be called anything by a pimp, okay? Because I know pimps. Damn, they're hardcore with their women, man, shit. And I'm not just talking about, pimps, they're always on the like, do you want like a 13, 14-year-old girl? Oh, she can make the dough. I know pimps, man. Don't give me that shit, man. The only pimps I actually like is the pimps that's girlfriends with the fucking addicts who's only selling their body because of the fucking drug. That's the only shit I do understand because they're doing it out of fucking not the young ones, but the old heads. But you see girls that are like down to on the streets. I've seen a girl standing and she said she was like 13. I asked her because I said I'll give you if you just because there was this and I gotta say he was a Turkish guy. I don't know what the age is in Turkey, and I don't care because it's a long time ago. And I was standing, and I was selling some bags, and I was walking back and forth, and the police stopped me, and they couldn't find. I had it in the mouth, in some small balloons, and I had it in the mouth, and then he did like that. Then I had him up there, so he couldn't. He did like that. He couldn't find him anyway. So the thing is, I went there and I knew I had to get some of the balloons away in a fucking hurry. So I stopped because there was this deal going on, and I was still a good man, even though I was dealing. I had to because I didn't want my woman to do what other women was doing. So I was like standing with these balloons in my mouth, and I was thinking, I gotta get some of them away, man. I gotta get rid of them. I didn't want to throw them away because it was a lot of money. So this girl, she stood with like half of what it costs He said to him, I'll suck your dick for rest. I looked at her and she looked like a baby in my eyes. And I was even, what was it back then? 28 or something like that? And I looked at her as a baby. She looked like 13, 12, 13. And I said, "Excuse me, how old are you?" And she said, "Don't." He said, don't you intervene in anything. Don't you worry about this. Don't you?" I said, you don't ask me what to interfere with and not to. You don't decide that. I decide that. And I said to him, "What the fuck is happening here?" Yeah, he's selling, and she told me he's selling bad junk, but I need to be, I need to get my, groove on, or what she said. I can't remember what she said, but she said some youth shit. And it was like, she needs to, all in all, she needs to get better. She was sick as a motherfucker. So she said she wanted to suck his dick for the rest of it. And I said, "What?" And I said, "Hey, stop, 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 stop." And I said, "Come with me." And she just walked with me. She thought that maybe she had to do something with me. But I said, "Here is a balloon. That's for 400." And she was like, "Thanks, thanks." 400 is like $50. A little more than $50. It's like 60 or $70. But who the fuck cares? Who the fuck cares? She had a wonderful morning, day, I hope. I gave her so she had like for a minute, not for a minute, for like hours, almost if she could like, but girls they're always, you know, crazier than guys, and I'm gonna tell a story about that soon. But I've been on for an hour, and I think it's boring. There's no people are popping up, but it is what it is. Yesterday there was all kind of people, but I guess it depends on. I never say when I go live. I don't want to do that. I like when people are popping up. I love when Mrs. Two Fly were popping up and all these people because they're good people. But I'm not saying that any of this is okay. Everybody know what goes on Doc's channel is Doc is my dude. Tommy is my dude. You know, I like Tommy a lot. But hey, because I like Doc, Chris, and you had a problem with Doc, don't make it my problem. And you are saying that everybody who fucks with this, you just needed the KK so you could say this. You wanted to say it anyway. Isn't that the truth? So I just want to say no, no one is pedophile or predators. Uh, where I'm at, there's literally kids here. So it would be very nasty if there were one here. There would be like repercussion right away. People would, we would hear it right away, and there would be whop, whop. You see, I even have, you know, kids sleeping here, and his mom and her mom. Sorry, it is what it is. It's because I'm not used to saying his mom. I'm sorry, girl. Sorry. Yeah. But I don't have that much more to say. I don't. I want to play some guitar because nobody's popping out when these demons hours, man. And if I go live, if some motherfucker is live, I'll bet you. No, I won't bet. I'll just think it. Peace.